Hi, good evening. This is part 3 of this week's reflection, Diamonds Under Pressure. Diamonds under pressure. And I left it with this statement in part 2 of this week's reflection. And it was, a diamond is a piece of coal that trusted the process. It trusted the process and stayed under pressure. It trusted the process while it was still under pressure until it was revealed. Until the diamond was revealed. Why is faith needed under pressure? When we are under pressure, faith is very essential. It's very important. Without faith, pressure feels meaningless. Life sufferings with no purpose without faith. Faith allows us to believe what we can't see that is being built by God. That's why faith is so important when you're under pressure, because it gives us hope. It gives us belief. We stay focused in the mission, even under pressure. Even when you're under pressure, faith allows us to trust that the weight we feel is not meant to crush us, but to form us. Faith. Faith is needed because transformation often happens in the darkness. Remember? Transformation often happens in the darkness. Coal does not become a diamond in the open, in the daylight. No, in the darkness. It forms underground. It forms unseen. God's greatest work is quietly done. He does his work quietly within us, between you and him. In the moments when answers are absent and progress feels invisible, that's when he is working. That's when he is working. Faith keeps us steady when there is no evidence yet of change. Even if we're not seeing, like the song, right? Even if I don't see it, you're working. Even if I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop. You never stop working. Pressure will tempt us to flee, to run, to escape. But we must stay there. Faith will keep us there. Faith teaches us to remain, to be anchored, to be stable, not to move, not to run, not to quit. To believe God is present even when the process is painful. Even when the process is painful, time spent under pressure is not wasted when it's placed in God's hands. It's never wasted when placed in God's hands. Faith helps us remember our work. Coal looks common, but hidden with its potential. When pressure makes us doubt ourselves, faith anchors us in the truth of God. What is the truth of God? Where are we being anchored in? Are you being anchored in his word? When pressure makes us doubt ourselves, faith anchors us in the truth of God, his word. What feels like breaking is actually beaming. It's actually beaming, but it's not yet seen. It's not yet seen. Faith is not the absence of struggle, but the courage to trust God within. Within what? Like a diamond. A diamond forms beneath the surface. Faith allows us to endure the process, the pressure, with hope. Faith is believing that God is shaping something stronger. He is forming us. He is giving us every shape, every cut of the diamond. Faith is believing that God is shaping us. He's making us stronger. While the pressure is pressing, and when it's due time, he removes everything that's been pressuring you, and he makes you shine. He makes you stronger. He makes you clearer, more radiant than what we can ever even imagine. So here I have, we could still probably see the residue of the coal, of the pressure of what we've been going through, until God just continues shaping, and the pressure and the fire keeps making it into shape, and I'm going to use this alcohol as a form of a symbol of the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit then comes and disinfects. It cleans, it removes every residue of the pressure so you can't remember it no more. And it's time for him to take you off the shelf. It is time for him to smooth out the rough edges. And then you're shining, shining, shining bright as a diamond. The pressure you're going through is so much worth it, knowing that at the end result, you are exactly how he wanted you to be, shaped and anchored and ready for the mission. Diamonds under pressure produces diamonds that will shine, and at the end, he will get all the honor and the glory. This was the last part of this week's reflection. Come and meet me after the midnight hour, and tomorrow we have another whole new reflection. See you then.